Every object, group and page has properties which can be viewed or modified from the right-hand panel by selecting the object in the drawing area. We have seen some of this already in other tutorials, and you will have noticed that the properties are different for each object type. During this tutorial, we will look at some of the more common properties. The Attributes section at the top will include the name of the object. This name is automatically generated by the system and will be a combination of the object type and the numerical order that it was added onto the form. For input objects, that will most certainly be referred to in behavior, workflow or reporting, we strongly recommend that the name is changed so that it can easily identify the data stored in that object. It's okay to use spaces in the name, by the way. The text area underneath is where you can predefine the text stored in this object. For input objects, this would normally be blank, allowing the user to enter the text. But for text labels, you would normally enter something in here. Each of these sections can be minimized or maximized by clicking on the arrowheads. Behaviors are a very important part of your form design, but will be covered in other tutorial videos, so let's just skip over them for the time being and go down to the main object properties, where you'll normally see three sections: Settings, Style and Access. In this tutorial we will concentrate on the settings. It's important to remember that different object types will of course have different settings, and those at the top of the section would normally be specific to the object. Most will also be self-explanatory, but if you are not sure about this, just click on the question mark at the top, which will trigger a link to the relevant section of the help guide. You can elect to make the object mandatory, however this can also be done more efficiently using behaviors. We will cover this in a separate video. Positioning of objects on your page can be managed using the grid, explained in a previous tutorial, or you can use the object settings for precise positioning and sizing of your objects. The tab order is used to manage the order that the objects are referenced when a user tabs through a page. It is set initially by the order that objects are placed onto each page. Once you've completed the layout of your form, it is a good idea to review and modify the tab order accordingly. This will be covered in more detail in another tutorial. Enter tooltip text to show to a form user when they move their mouse over the object. The accessibility section is where you can enter text that can be read aloud to JAWS users. So that's a quick look at some of the common properties that you can set for objects on your form.